Okay, 1116 Mazatlan B is in board. So they smoked quite a bit here. Nicotine's not bad on the walls, but it definitely stinks. So we're gonna need a full paint plus sealing, some patch repairs. This is probably the worst of it right here, actually. I need to have the painter look at this trim and baseboards to see if we can paint. I don't know if you can tell from the sheen, but this isn't wood. I believe it's plastic, so you can't really paint that because it's just going to peel off. That being said, I've seen it painted. It doesn't get touched that often, so you know, as long as they don't touch it, they won't peel. But yeah, because of the smoke, the blinds need to go. Basically, everything kind of needs to go as far as like painting and blinds and whatnot. So you've got some flush mounts that need to be replaced. Obviously, this is super dated. Nice stainless appliances. These light fixtures need to go. Because you've got this tile and that's super dated, I'd recommend backsplash. I'd go with a white, probably a white mosaic, or Subway. Subway never goes out of style, but a white on white glass mosaic looks nice. So yeah, those blinds obviously need to go. That's actually not in bad shape. I'm not too worried about that. We'll check for leaks though, obviously. Yeah, so kitchen, you can paint these cabinets. That would look nice. At the same time, because these plastic trim and baseboards, I'd almost recommend cleaning up the paint that they got on them and go with like an antique white again. You know, they put this, somebody put the crown molding in. So if we did paint the trim and went with, painted all that white, the trim white, and did the walls in like an agreeable gray, and leave the crown molding white, that would look sharp. Washer and dryer in good shape. So this floor super dated. You got linoleum, and then you've got probably looks like glue down. So under this linoleum, there's another piece of board because there's a slight lift. So two ways to go about that would be to lift up the board. That's what we've always done when we did the turns on our personal properties. A lot of owners, I mean, we did it ourselves. So a lot of owners don't like that expense. The only real advantage is you get rid of the transition strip. Particularly if you're going with one color, it looks nice and flows nicely. So yeah, we've got light fixtures. Because you've got central air, I wouldn't bother with a ceiling fan. We've got one there. Paint we got to look into, see if you want to paint the cabinets. I definitely do a backsplash since you've got that dated tile on there. Countertops are in good shape. Appliances look nice. Blinds got to go. Oh, the phone, obviously, it's got to go. Replace your detectors. They look super old. Probably wouldn't do another CO down there. It's a myth that they have to be down by the ground. So I'd probably go with the more expensive smoke detectors and CO detectors, get a 10-year on there. But if you would just want to get the cheapo $5 ones, we could throw in some Duracells or a decent battery so that they don't chirp. But get a combo CO smoke detector and then replace the smoke detectors in the bedrooms. Replace the light fixtures. Those are super dated. We can get 12-inch LED flush mount pretty inexpensively for each bedroom. I think it's like a total like 7 blinds or 7 light fixtures. A little bit of trash out. You can see the chair out there, the dresser in here. These blinds, the vertical slats are all kind of, you can see they're bent up, and if you can see the discoloration from smoke. Those aren't that expensive. I'd go ahead and replace the whole thing. Carpet's done. Definitely exceeded its useful life, so we can either plank throughout, which I always recommend, just because carpet in some instances becomes like an annual expense. It's just a huge waste of money. Plank is expensive up front, but then you're done. Bathroom, since they've busted that and it's super dated, the vanity, I'd go ahead and replace this vanity. You got to do the vinyl in here anyway, because it looks like they like to smoke while they're on the throne. Oof, speaking of, at a minimum, a toilet seat. 1.6 gallons per flush, so I'd recommend if we're gonna update this thing, I'd recommend switching to a low flow. Your surround's in good shape, you just need a tub stopper. Yeah, they definitely smoked a lot in the bathroom. Yeah, I'd remove the tile. I wouldn't do a backsplash or anything there. I would just remove it, replace this vanity, repair the wall, and be done. Replace the switch plate, switch that to like a 4-inch LED. I've done the old ones in my house, just took those out and left the hole and popped the LED in there. HVAC closet looks good. Yeah, see, you got this, all the doors, it's all these plastic doors and trim. It wouldn't surprise me if this was the trim and the frame was all one piece. I've seen that before, especially with this plastic stuff. Blinds, light fixture. The only thing I'm a little flummoxed on is the paint. Yeah, I mean, we could clean up this paint that's on there. The only place I saw that the trim was a little beat up was out here. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze on replacing all the baseboards, or if we just go ahead and paint it. And you know, if it peels, it peels. We'd get it on turn, but it's probably gonna peel, especially on doors. Speaking of doors, you got these old yellow, brass, whatever colored handles. I would swap that out with black. So this door has been replaced. So you got one locking knob and probably 2 passage knobs on the bedrooms. You can see they've got a deadbolt on this one. Probably these areas where it's separating a bit and stained, I'd probably throw some caulk in there. Or whatever, putty, probably caulk. Looks like there was a leak here, so they'd get that on turn. It's old, it's super dry. Yuck. Probably clean or replace those. They're gonna be smoky. I'd probably replace them. It's not expensive, and that's gonna be stained and gross, and plus it's been painted over. All right, It's gonna be a good looking place. I just have to figure out what we can do with this paint. I don't know. If we can't paint this stuff, I would the trim. I'd go with like an antique white and clean up the splatter they have on here. Call it good. I mean, I hate this white walls, but yeah. Countertops are in good shape. You could go on that backsplash, since you got sort of this brownish in there. You could go with like a white and then a white backsplash with some like accents in it, kind of like wavy tan. That would look great. If you wanted to add some pulls onto these cabinets, if we didn't paint the cabinets and we just added some pulls, and then you did the white and tan backsplash, that would all look good, and that would all sort of come together. Yep, that's where we're at.